Okay, so Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. So it is described the reign of Dhruva Maharaj, how he was ruling. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord, very kind to the poor and innocent. He protected religious principles, and everybody loved him. He was endowed with all godly qualities. So, Shatrimshad Varsha Sahasram Sashasa. Yeah, share my screen. Thank you. शशास क्षितिमण्डलं भोगे पुण्यक्षयं कुर्वन् अभोगेरशुभक्षयम्. Dhruva Maharaj ruled over this planet for 36,000 years. He diminished the reaction of pious activities by enjoyment. And by practicing austerities, he diminished inauspicious reactions. So we would think that he's a pure devotee. How come there is punya and papa? But here in this verse it is described that is, as he was enjoying, his punya was getting diminished and his papa was being diminished by practicing austerities. So, that Dhruva Maharaj ruled over the planet for 36,000 years means that he was present in the Satyuga. Because in Satyuga, people used to live for 100,000 years. Then in the next Yuga, Treta, people used to live for 10,000 years. It dropped by a factor of 10. And in the next Yuga, Dwapar, for 1,000 years. In the present days, the Kali Yuga, the maximum duration of life is 100 years. So it decreases by a factor of 10 as we go from one age to another. With the change of yugas, the duration of life and memory, the quality of kindness and all other good qualities diminish. How can you say quality of kindness is diminishing? What is one major thing that is going on by which we can say the quality of kindness is diminishing?
I mean, violence. I mean, people are eating meat.
So much huge animal slaughter is going on, right? So never before in such a large scale animal slaughter was done. Now we have, so this is showing how kindness has decreased. So the quality of kindness and all other good qualities diminish. Memory, of course, is decreased. We can't remember, right? Because we are too much involved in sense gratification, and so memory declines and everything like that. People were sharp before because they were very pure in their thoughts and their actions, and so they were very bright faced and very sharp, and they could understand spiritual subject matter very fast. Whereas in Kali Yuga, we are all dull headed. So, manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagya upatrita. We are always disturbed, dull headed. We cannot get the basic understanding that I am not the body, I am the soul. That itself, and to act on that understanding. How do you know you got that understanding? When you can act on that understanding. Then you know that you realized it. So, that itself is like so difficult to understand. And it doesn't remain steady. Our mind, we cannot understand spiritual uh, importance of spiritual life because we are too attracted by material enjoyment in this, so much distracted, and we think we have to accomplish so many things in this world and so many material ambitions and like that. So spiritual life takes a back seat. So prayana alpa ayushya sabya kalau asmin yuge jana. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyayo padrita. We are always disturbed also because we want to enjoy, and when our desires are not fulfilled, we become disturbed. So, like that, there is all these things going on. So, here is saying that, and the age of the lifespan will further decrease as we move along in Kali Yuga, in 12th canto. How much lifespan will be there for the people? 50?
Mm.
50 years, so half lifespan, and like that. So people will live very less. So by executing pious activities, there are two kinds of activities, namely pious and impious. By executing pious activities, one can get facilities for higher material enjoyment. But due to impious activities, one has to undergo severe distress. A devotee, however, is not interested in enjoyment or affected by distress. Sama sukha dukha dhiram. Sama dukha sukha dhiram. Somritatvaya kalpate. He is.
Prabhuji,
Ah, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
I think I'm double.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me join again. Sorry.
Okay.
So I was just reading what you're sharing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So here in line 3, right, it says the next Yuga, Dwapara, for 1,000 years. In the present age, the Kali Yuga, the maximum duration of life is 100 years.
Mhm.
So it's written in Bhagavad. That's what you're saying here. And
Yeah,
now
somewhere
Mataji mentioned 50 years. So it's like, how are you coming up with those numbers?
in the 12th canto, it is mentioned as Kali Yuga will progress. We are 5,000 years into Kali Yuga. So
Okay.
Kali Yuga lasts for 432,000 years. So as Kali Yuga will progress, and then the lifespan will
Lifespan will decrease.
correct.
Okay.
So it is mentioned. There is a verse I can find maybe.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Huh?
I pasted it.
She pasted it. Okay.
You pasted in chat? Okay. I didn't check it.
The maximum duration of life will become 50 years. So
And also, it says it's diminishing day by day. The first verse I pasted: religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of life.
yeah, so many people die in 50s, right? In 40s also like that. I mean, maybe the average lifespan has not decreased that much, but yeah, lifespan is decreasing. Of course, Charuta was saying one time that actually lifespan has increased from before, but this is what this is saying. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, and it doesn't matter, right? I mean, what is our lifespan? We don't know. Average lifespan maybe 75. 80.
No. I was just trying to pay attention and make sure that I'm asking
Yeah.
questions because I've been listening for a few days and I had some questions I was holding on. Now, please continue.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome to ask anytime. Okay. So many of my friends passed away. By executing pious activities, one can gain facilities for higher material enjoyment, but due to impious activities, one has to undergo severe distress. So devotee, however, is not interested in enjoyment or affected by distress. When he's prosperous, he knows, I am diminishing the results of my pious activities. So life is going good, and you're in a comfortable situation, your punya is getting depleted. And when he's in distress, he knows, I am diminishing the reactions of my impious activities. When you are suffering, then pap karma is getting reduced. A devotee is not concerned with enjoyment or distress. He simply desires to execute devotional service. So he is interested in bhakti. He is not interested in pap and punya. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that devotional service should be apratihata, unchecked by material conditions of happiness and distress or distress. The devotee undergoes processes of austerity such as observing Ekadashi and similar other fasting days and refraining from illicit sex life, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. Thus, he becomes purified from the reactions of his past impious life, and because he engages in devotional service, which is the most pious activities, he enjoys life without separate endeavor. So, we have the four regulative principle, and then fasting on Ekadashi, like that. So, in this way, we engage in devotional service. Devotional service itself diminishes our sinful activities and punya also, so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. As long as we have accounts, our debit and credits, we have to come back to enjoy or suffer in this material world. Enjoyment is not there really because there is death, old age, disease. I mean, there is struggle also. So, maybe less struggle for those who are pious, but still you have to get old and diseased and die. So, somebody may die very suddenly, right? So, but still death is there. Okay, so like that. So he was ruling the earth for 36,000 years. Evam bhu savam kalam Mahatma Vichelendriya Trivargo Pikam Nitva Putrayadan Ripasanam. The self controlled great soul Dhruva Maharaj thus passed many, many years favorably executing three kinds of worldly activities, namely religiosity, economic development, and satisfaction of all material desires. Of course, he was pure devotee, so Prabhupada says he was constantly engaged in devotional service previously. Thereafter, he handed over the charge of the royal throne to his son. So the kings would give up their, kingdom, and so that somebody else, their descendant, would take care, and they would completely dedicate their life to spiritual. At some point, all material activities are stopped. Of course, he was not doing any material activity because he was a devotee, but still, perfection of material life, materialistic life, is suitably attained by the process of observing religious principles. This leads automatically to successful economic development, and thus there is no difficulty in satisfying all material desires. Since Dhruva Maharaj, as a king, had to keep up his status quo, or it would not have been possible to rule over the people in general, he did it perfectly. But as soon as he saw that his son was grown up and could take charge of the royal throne, he immediately handed over the charge and retired from all material engagements. One word used here is very significant: avichelendriya, which means that he was not disturbed by the agitation of senses, nor was his sensory power diminished, although in years he was a very old man. Since he ruled over the world for 36,000 years, naturally one may conclude that he became very, very old, but factually his senses were very young, because 36,000, they used to live 100,000. That is only one third of the lifespan. So but factually his senses were very young, and yet he was not interested in sense gratification. In other words, he remained self-controlled. He performed his duties perfectly according to the materialistic way, that is the way of behavior of great devotees. Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, was the son of a very rich man. Although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness, when he was interested with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Srila Gaur Sundar advised him, from within keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally execute the material duties just as they need to be done. This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, as described in Bhagavad Gita. While others, such as yogis, try to control their senses by force, devotees, even though possessing full sensory powers, do not use them because they engage in higher transcendental activities. So that's yesterday's verse we were discussing how the senses, or the devotees experiencing higher taste, they can refrain from lower taste. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinam raso varjam rasopi asya param drishtva nivartate. So others try to, restrain their senses, but it is not possible. What verse is that? Yat pada pallava. Yat pada.
Palasa Vilasa Bhaktya कर्मस्यान् gratitamudgatyanti shanta tadvannaraktamatayo tatopi ruda shroto ganastamaranam bhaj vasudevam.
The four Kumaras, I think Sanat Kumar is saying to Prithu Maharaj, then it
Mhm.
is very difficult. Unless we develop love for Krishna, it's very difficult to control the senses by some other way. Unless we engage in bhakti yoga and our love for Krishna develops, it's not easy, as we've experienced. So we should not get discouraged. We should try to take shelter of Krishna and pray to Krishna like that. And then, just like we lost our attachment to playing with toys. As child, we were very attached to playing with toys. And somebody took our toy, would cry. Oh, somebody took my toy. Somebody took my toy. But now we are not so much attracted to toys. I'm just giving an analogy. Of course, our toys are different now, but uh, iPhone and whatever. But we are not attracted to those toys because we lost the taste. And if somebody is having a nice toy, a little child is having a nice toy, we don't feel envious. As a young person, we may have felt envious. Oh, he is having a nice toy, I didn't have. But now do we think, oh, this child is playing with such a nice toy, I don't have this toy? We don't feel that because we have lost that taste in playing with that toys. So, of course, now we may feel in a different way, but I'm just giving an analogy that same way when the devotee, he's feeling so happy in Krishna consciousness, the advanced devotees. When they think somebody is enjoying, he doesn't feel like he's missing out on something. Oh, movies, how people go and see movies because they can't enjoy what they see in the movies. Their enjoyment comes from seeing others enjoying. It's called vicarious enjoyment. So the hero and heroine are enjoying. But the spiritualist, he feels like, what is this? This is like humbug. One scene in Switzerland, one scene in London, one scene in France, something like that. It's not at all completely out of reality with life. So he thinks like, what is this? This is not like. So they build up an image like that, a romantic something in the whole world. They build up this image, and then people go and see, and then it becomes a hit movie and like that. But the devotee knows this is all nothing. There's a lot of this is all not reality. The reality is that I am spirit soul. I am passing through this body. This material world is a miserable place. I'm going to die and go through different bodies and different species of life. I've been through. I've got this human form of life. What is this? He feels. But sometimes we get carried away, right? When there is, as Premilas Prabhu was saying, right, that we become so attracted to you, this somebody who has the art of hitting the ball with the bat, we become so attracted, and so many people watch, cricket and like that. He said cricket, Bollywood, and something else he was saying. Cricket, Bollywood, Netflix, something like that. This is everybody is attracted by all this thing in this world. So, yeah, yadavadhi mamacheta Krishna padara vinde नवनवरसधामनि उद्दयन्तुं रन्तुमासीत् तदवधि बतनारि संगमे स्मर्यमाने भवति मुख विकार सुष्टु निष्टिवनं च. Since my mind has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, I have been enjoying an ever new transcendental humor. Whenever I think of sex life with a woman, my face at once turns from it and I spit at the thought. This is Yamunacharya speaking, one of the great acharyas in South India. So that's how basically, I mean, we may not be there yet at that level to experience that kind of taste. But as we refrain from sense enjoyment and we engage in devotional service, then that taste will come about. Yeah. So,
We were, seeing Radheshyam Prabhu's slides yesterday about that actress. I mean, they can show in the movies these actors and actresses that they're enjoying and stuff, right? What is actually happening in their mind? They're so distressed that they have so much desire for name, fame, and whatnot, and when they don't get it, they commit suicide. So that is reality, and what they show in the movies is all artificial, as you were saying.
Correct.
No, if you put it on full, then you can see it's multiple slides on yeah. If you
All right.
uh, I mean, you show the full slide, you see the symbols at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, the full here.
No, to the left, last one,
Okay.
last one. One more, three more to the
One
right.
looks like a cup. Like
Yeah, one more to the right.
Right.
Oprah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Sunday.
So this is Jia Khan, or I don't know her name, but yeah, she was quite young actress, and
Hmm. I mean, sorry to see, we are not like trying to say, okay, somebody passed, but it's going to happen to. So he was telling there is no desires, no feelings, because the soul has left, no thinking.
so actually, what is beautiful is the soul. If we are attracted to someone, it's not the body that we are attracted to; it's the soul, because the body stays
Hmm.
behind. The soul is gone.
Hmm. Yeah. So we came all the way.
Yeah. So mind doesn't make us think that this is what will happen to us, right? So
Denial,
we
you're
spend
saying.
our time in enjoyment. We don't think that I'm going to get old, I'm going to die, I will have next life,
Hmm.
what type of situation I will have. Because mind looks at immediate enjoyment.
D, you were saying, right?
Please.
D. Yesterday you were saying D means
Mhm.
denial.
Denies reality, right? Neglects responsibility.
Correct. Because we don't like to think of, because by nature we want to enjoy, so we don't like to think of things that will act as an impediment to our enjoyment. So naturally we like to only. But Prabhupada said devotee is pessimistic about material life and material enjoyment, but optimistic about Krishna's mercy and optimistic about serving Krishna. So he's pessimistic. Because unless you are pessimistic, as what is that statement he writes in the 13th chapter? Unless one is pessimistic,
Unless one has a pessimistic view of life, one cannot make advancement. Unless we have a pessimistic view of this material life, considering the distresses of birth, death, old age, and disease, there is no impetus for our making advancement in spiritual life.
correct. Yeah, yeah, this is 13.8. So Krishna is saying Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. So Prabhupada says, because we forget how much distress we have suffered within the womb of the mother, we do not make any solution to repetition of birth and death. Similarly, at the time of death, there are all kinds of suffering, and they're also mentioned in authoritative scriptures. This should be discussed. And as far as disease and old age are concerned, everyone gets practical experience. No one wants to be diseased and no one wants to become old, but there is no avoiding this unless we have a pessimistic view of this material life, considering the distresses of birth, death, old age, and disease. There is no impetus for our making advancement in spiritual life. So when something is wrong, bad, then you want to change it. If you think it's very nice, then why you want to change? Why you want to change, right? So that's the thing. Unless you feel that there is not something right with this kind of life, then like you don't have a job and you don't feel bad about not having a job, then why will you look for a job? You don't feel that yeah, it's anything wrong. So many people like that, they think, yeah, I'm all right. Or sometimes people have less salary and they think, no, this is very bad. I should not have less salary because greed is there, of course. So, and of course, sometimes you need more salary because you have a lot of needs and family and dependencies and like that. So then you want to change your situation. So similarly, actually, we should think that all the problems are coming because I've turned away from Krishna, and all the struggle is there because I've turned away from Krishna. I don't like this struggle. I don't want to struggle like this. We are struggling to establish a career. There is a lot of competition and all these things. We are struggling, right? I mean, we have to clear so many exams, and then like that certification and all this struggle. So, but of course, you can do it in a way that you can think, okay, I'm going to serve Krishna through my job. Then it's okay. Then that struggle is good. But death, of course, there is struggle with death. Prabhupada says even an ant, little ant, you try to, like put a stake or something in its way and try to threaten it in some way. It will struggle. It will struggle because it wants to live. Everybody wants to live forever. So, of course, some devotees, when they get the notice of death, they just drop everything, like Parikshit Maharaj. He got the notice of death, he just dropped everything and just sat down on the bank of Ganges or Yamuna, and then he was just hearing Bhagavatam. So, he was just hearing Bhagavatam. Maybe Ganges, right? He was sitting on the bank of Ganges. So, Hastinapur. So, he just dropped everything and just, and like recently we had Kadam Kadan Maharaj. He knew he had cancer. He just went to Vrindavan and just, spent his last days chanting Hare Krishna and becoming absorbed in the chanting. So, Prabhupada also, right? He went to Vrindavan. So, we may not go to Vrindavan, but wherever we are, we can think that, yes, this is it. Now I'm just going to absorb. Of course, then we may say, well, this is not practical, we have to work. Yeah, work minimally to keep your body and soul together, whatever we need. And of course, if you're working more and you have a lot of money, then give it to Krishna. Because you can't take any money with you anyway. So, give it to Krishna and get some devotional credits for that. And chant Hare Krishna and just prepare. The final exam is the death exam, right? So we prepare for our exams, so many exams and things like that. So this exam also we have to start preparing because it's coming, and there is no like date that on this day there'll be exam. Mostly we know other exams we have dates. Okay, this entrance exam, this thing, this is the date when I have to. But this exam has no date. So sometimes astrologers may tell you, okay, you're going to die in this year or that year, but you never know whether they are saying is correct and when it will come. So we have to be always prepared, right? We have to always think of Krishna. Prepared means we have to become Krishna conscious. Before, like you were quoting this verse, Labdva sudurlabham idam bahu sambhavante manushyam arthadam anityam api hadhira turnam yateta na patedanu mrityu yavan nihashreyasaya vishaya khalu sarvatasyat. Saying that after many births and deaths, one gets this rare opportunity of the human form of life, which although temporary, affords one the highest liberation, highest benefit. So a sane or sober person who who has not died yet should very quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life, because this body will one day fall down and die. And he says other things, sense enjoyment is available in any species of life. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending is available in any species of life. So this is the extra like benefit of human life, is that we can break through the cycle of birth and death. We can go back home, back to Godhead. We can begin to love God like that. So put your endeavor in that, in that regard of service to Krishna and loving the Supreme Lord, instead of, you know, trying to become comfortable in the material world and struggling for so many years to enjoy in this material world. Try to become comfortable then. So because there is no guarantee how long the life will last. So in this way, Bhagavatam is saying very quickly, Turnam, endeavor, yateta, na patet, not fallen. Because death is always anumrityu. Anu means following. So death is always following you. So although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness, when he was entrusted with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Srila Gaur Sundar advised him. So Raghunath Das Goswami also, he was doing his duties, whatever he had to do, nicely. But in his heart, he was completely detached. And he was thinking, when will I join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only. Okay, I think we read this verse. Okay, so the next verse.
Same thing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Kurma Brahman, who wanted to join him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said,
Stay here
that,
at the house.
yeah, yeah, Ritikul. Like, you spend your time hearing Bhagavad Gita and also preaching. And yeah, he said, don't instruct everyone to follow the orders of Krishna as given by in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, you become a spiritual master. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh.
So we should spend also time in preaching. So many people don't have this knowledge. So we should go and share, we should distribute the books like that.
And then he said that if you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. Indeed, if you follow these regulative principles, we will again meet here. Rather, you will never lose my company.
Right. So the more we are free, the more we can preach Krishna consciousness. So we will have time to go out and meet others, and and Vasudhaiva Kutumbikam. The whole world is a big family of Krishna. We are all Krishna's family. So everybody is spirit soul. So
Yeah, as we were saying, I mean, the family members, when the time of need comes, they will not be able to help us. They are all fallible soldiers. Deha Patra Kalatridesham. Gajendra's family members, children were trying to save him, but they couldn't. Even Draupadi's case also. Only Krishna can save us in the time of need. So why would we spend all our lifetime in loving or being attached to family members? We should love them, show affection, and the best way to show affection is to make them Krishna conscious. But we should not be too attached, knowing that they will not be able to help me in my time of need.
yeah, and we should help each other. I mean, we are in the family, so it says don't become a guru, don't become a father, don't become a mother until you can deliver your dependence from the cycle of birth and death. So we should help each other, I mean, progress on the path back to Godhead, not entangle ourselves and bring our as a family, we should not bring our consciousness down, but rather we should elevate our consciousness together so that we can all, surrender to Krishna and do devotional service like that. Otherwise, it can bring down the consciousness, right? So 4 things Prabhupada says in family life you should do. You should chant Hare Krishna together with your family. You should read scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. You should worship the deity and you should honor prasadam. Like that. So, and then if you have time, then you should approach others who are not your family. And in the sense that who are not directly related to you through the body, but you can approach other living entities and give them Krishna consciousness. Because they are in the
Invite Vaishnavas.
invite Vaishnavas to your home. chant Hare Krishna, like that.
Have programs.
Programs. Yeah, correct. Grihasthas are especially meant to give charity, so they are meant to support all the other ashrams, like that. And Srila Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. I didn't read this verse. Okay. Manyamana idam vishwam
I
maya raj.
think
Huh?
we have to do 16th, verse 16. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So, Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam atmani avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Srila Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. This is a dream world. This material world is like a dream world, and it's not the reality. And all the living entities like us are placed here because we want to dream that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I possess, I am the proprietor. So Krishna has put us in this dream-like state because we wanted to be in that state. So this is the effect of the illusory energy, Maya. So where we identify in dream, you imagine so many things. So now we are imagining I am this body, and everything connected to the body is mine. So which is not the reality, but we are in the dream. So many things you can think. So we are in dream-like state. It is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. In the deep forest, it sometimes appears that there are big palaces and nice cities. This is technically called Gandharva Nagar. Similarly, in dreams, we create many false things out of imagination. A self realized person or devotee knows well that this material cosmic manifestation is a temporary, illusory representation, appearing to be truth. So it's like, dream comes and goes. So this material world is also the dream of Mahavishnu. It is like a phantasmagoria. But behind this shadow creation, there is reality, the spiritual world. Or like a mirage, there is some water there. Run after the water. There is no water, but there is water elsewhere. So a devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. In the 15th chapter, Krishna says, this is a perverted reflection. So it's a reflection. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivardhate. So he doesn't want to build up a temporary situation. Like a child who goes to the shore of the ocean and whole day in the hot sun he's building up sand castles. And he's building up, he's built all the sand castles. And then night comes, it's evening time. The father says, now we have to go home. The child says, no, but I have this so many things I built whole day in the hot sun. I built this sand castles. But the father says, no, but we can't live here. We have to go home. So we can't live here on the shore of the ocean. Our home is elsewhere. So then he takes the child home. And the next day, again, maybe they come again back to the ocean shore. And at night, the tide has come and washed away all the sandcastles. And he sees nothing. All the work he has done is nothing. So something like that. When death comes, then all the castles and everything is born. It's all finished. Means it may be there, it may be standing there, but you are not there. In next life you come, again, we may have built so many buildings and we may have so many properties and assets and so many, families and friends, but it is all terminated. And then next life you come around and then say, oh, nothing is there, all these things. Of course, by your karma, you are born into some family and you may inherit some assets from them, like that. But those previous assets, who knows where they are. So, like that. our life is like it's a dreaming, and then again that life will end, and then again another dream will start. Everybody will identify it with the body. In this life, I'm thinking I'm Indian, I'm this, you know, I'm engineer or this, whatever. And then next life, it may be like some other American, like that. So, like that, this dream is going on, and we have to get out of this and come to the reality that I'm the soul, and I have nothing to do in this with this body. Actually, I have the body; I'll take care of it, but it is meant to liberate the soul. The body, human body, is especially meant to liberate the soul from the encagement. We are like the bird is trapped in the cage for many, many years, and somebody can open the cage and let the bird out. So human body is like that. It's like it's a chance where we can escape the encagement and then go back to the spiritual world. Otherwise, we again get entrapped in another body. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Again, you get into another womb of another mother, and then you suffer the distresses of birth, as Prabhupada was saying. Bhagavatam is describing. And again, like after you already suffered death, after death, now again packed up in another womb. So this is again going on again and again. So since time immemorial, so now is a chance to escape. So dedicate this few years of your life in self-realization, in purifying our consciousness, in understanding who we are. It's difficult because we are conditioned. So it's difficult to purify because mind is giving up so many thoughts and desires like that. So I was thinking desires may come. First we have to desire the right things. We desire, and everything is based on desire. The whole material world is based on our desire to enjoy independently of Krishna. And Prabhupada says, if we desire to go back home, back to Godhead, then we'll go back to home, back to Godhead. Not just desire, but really, I mean, if you really desire something very intensely, you will act on it. It's not just saying, "Oh, I am desiring to become a doctor. I'm desiring to do this. I'm desiring." Yeah, that desire, if your desire is intense, you will actually become very serious about it, and you will really want to, do whatever it takes. So ultimately, we have to purify our consciousness because without being pure, we cannot go back. So we have to have intensity of desire, and by associating with those who have intense desire, then our desires will become intense. And by those who associating with those who have no desire, our desire will be lost for spiritual advancement. So we have to associate with those who have intense desire to serve Krishna, to go back home, back to Godhead, to make a solution to the problems of life. Most people are not interested in; they're just interested in trying to, exist. Just there is pranamoy consciousness. There are different levels of consciousness. Annamoy, then annamoy is like
Child consciousness,
child consciousness,
always
wanting
put
to.
things in his mouth.
Then
Hmm. Prana.
Pranamoy. Pranamoy means you recognize that I'm not the only one, there are others. So let us just coexist. Let us just, you do your job, you come home, you watch some TV and some this thing, and then again job, and you're just existing. You're happy. Reading some politicals, watching some sports, once in a while going to temple, and then you're just existing. So mostly people are on this pranamoy consciousness. And jnanamoy means then you are a little bit philosophical. You're thinking, yeah, what is this life about? It is just about like existing. And is there something more to life? Where will I go after death? What do you start asking those questions? There is inquisitiveness, curiosity. Why am I suffering? What is the purpose of life? I'm going to die, so why am I here? What is the. And then after you get the
Exactly.
answers, huh?
Vigyanmoy.
Vigyan. You start practicing and then you get realizations. Vigyan. You understand more and more deeply. Yes, what is this life? And then you, once you realize, and then you become, attached
Anandamoy.
to, then An-
Anandamoy.
Anandamoy. Then you become very, very happy and very blissful. So, like, right, yesterday we were discussing this. The John Lennon, his mother told him that happiness is the goal of life, something like that. And then he went to school, and the teacher asked, "What do you want to become when you grow up in life?" And he wrote, "Happy. I want to become happy." So the teacher said, "You want to become happy? But no, no, I'm asking, you don't understand what." She was thinking that maybe like she expected answer like, "I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer." And John Lennon said, "I want to become happy in life." And then he says, "You don't understand." She was saying to John Lennon that you don't understand, right? Something. Then she said, "You don't understand life. You don't understand life."
They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life.
So we have our own, like, way we are thinking, I will get this, but we may not be happy. I will get this and I will get that, and then so ultimately, or we may become happy. We may think that now I'm possessing this, now I have this, I'm very happy, but that's not real happiness, because material happiness, because things will be taken away from you. Real happiness is spiritual happiness, and everybody is running after this kind of material. We are all running after material happiness, because we are thinking, I will have this and I will get this, then I will become very happy, and then people will respect me, and this will happen and that will happen, like that. And we are trying to establish our position and this, all this thing. But actually, when we become pure devotee, actually, two people are very happy in this world. One is a
A mad person,
mad person, and the other is
pure devotee.
pure devotee. A mad person also is very happy because he doesn't, he's completely, you go to the mental hospital. So I am the Prime Minister of India, I am this, I am that, and actually nothing is, is because he cannot perceive any misery, right? So it's like that. And in between, everybody is like, so pure devotee is very happy. So we have to become pure devotees to experience the ultimate happiness. Krishna is not saying, Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So we can become very happy serving Krishna. All these devotees who have dedicated their life, they're very happy. So, but we are thinking, no, unless, like the donkey, Prabhupada gave the example of the donkey. The donkey is carrying loads of clothes on its back for the washerman, because he thinks, unless I work very, very hard and I carry this load, I will not get grass. And what does the washerman do? He also puts a carrot in front of the donkey. The stick is tied to the donkey, and there is a carrot in front. And the donkey is thinking, yes, I want that carrot. So the donkey is moving, the carrot is also moving because it's attached to the donkey, and he keeps moving, moving. It impels him to move. You know that the thing that I will get that carrot impels him to move, and he's moving, 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 moving. But he never gets the carrot, and the washerman gets his job done. And Prabhupada says there is so much grass elsewhere, but he thinks, no, no, unless I do like this, I will not get my food. I will not get. So in this way, we become beasts of burden and take so much load on our back, and we think this is the way everybody is doing. So there are other donkeys also going like that, and we are one of the donkeys, and we see other donkeys are also doing the same thing. So everybody is the going in this kind of situation. But you know, like that. So that's why there is somebody who thinks differently. Manushyanam sahasreshu kashid yatadi siddhai yatadam visiddhanam kashin mam vidi tatvataha. There is one somebody who thinks, oh, no, I have to surrender to Krishna. Of course, devotee can have his job and everything and still surrender to Krishna. I'm not saying that. But the goal, somebody thinks that I need to connect with Krishna for happiness. Everybody else is like trying to make their situation better for sense gratification, and that's how they are thinking that they'll get happiness. So, lot of endeavor goes. And Rishabdev says, don't work hard like this for cats and dogs for sense enjoyment. नायम देहो देहो भाजाम निलोके कष्टन कामान अर्हति विद भुजामिये तपो दिव्यम पुत्र कयेना सत्वम शुद्धिये यस्मात् ब्रह्म सौख्यम त्वनंतम. Instead, do tapasya and chant Hare Krishna. Of course, it's very enjoyable, but do this, do tapasya for the sake of elevating your consciousness, and then you will enjoy a sukh which will not perish, or which will not end. Material happiness ends, you enjoy, and then afterwards material happiness ends. So and then it brings along a lot of side effects, because it also brings you misery. So you want to read that verse? Sada santushta manasa.
सदा संतुष्ट मनसा सर्वा शिवं यादिशः सर्करा कंटा कंटकादिभ्यो यथोपानत्वदा शिवम्. For a person who has suitable shoes on his feet, there is no danger even when he walks on pebbles and thorns. For him, everything is auspicious. Similarly, for one who is always self-satisfied, there is no distress. Indeed, he feels happiness everywhere. So, I mean, people can have anything and everything, but because the lust is never satisfied, burns like fire, right? So if you pour ghee in fire, it burns even more. So they're trying to satisfy their lust, but that process is making them even more hankering for things. But for a devotee who gives up on this, enjoying these senses, but dedicates himself to serving Krishna or satisfying Krishna, he becomes self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything else. He's just happy within him. So then he's happy everywhere in every situation. That's what Krishna is asking a devotee to do. Be equipoised. Be happy with whatever Krishna is giving on. By your own karma, you will get, what you're destined to. So be satisfied.
Yeah, and Prahlad Maharaj says your happiness, your condition of distress begins when you endeavor to become happy in this material world, right? There is a verse like that.
Correct.
As you embark on the project of becoming happy in the material world, then your condition of distress begins. So,
I mean, pasting the verse.
yeah, you want to read the verse?
In this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begins.
Yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yona evate. Krishna is also saying, as soon as you endeavor to have material sense enjoyment, then also you'll get distress along with it. It's a package deal. You cannot have one without the other. And because of that also, you may say, well, I'm not getting distress, I'm enjoying. Well, you'll get another material body because you have all these desires to enjoy. So you get, and as soon as you get material body, now you have got death. You've got old age. Death is not very nice. You're distressed. Usually at the time of death, there's distress, right? There is pain and so many things that happen in the body. So like yayatma suprasidati. What is that verse? Savai pumsam
Savai
paro.
pumsam paro dharma yatho bhakti radokshije ahetuki pratihata ye atma suprasidati.
So this is saying how you can be self-satisfied. How you can be when you do uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service, then you can be self-satisfied. Two conditions: constantly uninterrupted and unmotivated, pure devotional service. Then you can be self-satisfied. Otherwise, you can't be self-satisfied. So we have to endeavor for that. Unmotivated, uninterrupted. Unmotivated means I am doing devotional service for the sake of pleasing Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, like that. And uninterrupted means without any cessation, no breaks. So if we do this, and that's the goal we want to come to, where we can do uninterrupted, unmotivated devotion all the time. Of course, we have to take rest and sleep like that, but that's the body, to rejuvenate ourselves so that we can again engage. In the spiritual world, they don't have to sleep also because they are like, they don't have a material body. Although they may sleep, but the sleep also they're thinking of, the Lord. Like Gopas are sleeping and they're thinking, oh, when will there be sunrise? Again, we can go with Krishna in the fields. So nice. And okay, Srila Dhruva Maharaj. Okay, we read this. It is like a phantasmagoria, but behind this shadow creation, there is reality, the spiritual world. So reflection is there because there is the real substance is somewhere else. That's why you see if there was no real substance, then the reflection also would not be there. But the reflection is there because there is real substance somewhere else. A devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in the temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what is the time? We can read a little bit more. We can read some pastimes after this. Atma stri apatya surido balam riddhakosham antapuram parivihara bhuvascharami bhumandalam jalati mekhalam akallaya kalopasrishtam iti sa prayo vishalam. Thus Dhruva Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by great oceans. So his son, he gave the kingdom and he left his kingdom. He considered his body, his wives, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable places, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be creations of the illusory energy. His Badrikashram. In the beginning of life, when he went to the forest in search of the Supreme Personality of God, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all bodily conceptions of pleasures are products of the illusory energy. In the very beginning, of course, he was after the kingdom of his father. And in order to get it, he went to search for the Supreme Lord. But he later realized. So in the beginning of his life, it says when he went to forest to search, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all bodily conceptions of pleasure are products of the illusory energy. But not when he was 5 years old, at that time but afterwards, maybe when he saw. In the very beginning, of course, Prabhupada is saying, he was after the kingdom of his father. In order to get it, he went to search for the Supreme Lord. But he later realized that everything is creation of the illusory energy. From the acts of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it doesn't matter what his motivation is in the beginning. He will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. So Krishna in the heart, he will enlighten. Oh, this is all, you'll come to understand that this is all khel. It's a drama going on here. And it's the illusory, and I'm affected. You can also see yourself affected by the illusory energy. And you endeavor to come out of it. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father. But later he became a great devotee, Mahabhagavat, and had no interest in material enjoyment. The perfection of life can be achieved only by devotees. Even if one completely completes only a minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down from his immature position, he is better than a person who fully engages in the fruitive activities of this material world. What verse is that? One completes a minute
Neha Brikamana Shasti. Is there one Tyaktva Swadharman
That's the worst.
Charanambojam Hare Bhajana Pakva Tapateti Tato Yatra Ko Va Bhadram Manushya Abodhamashyakyam Ko Varta Apto Bhajatam Swadharmata.
Narad Muni
Those
says,
who are those who are engaged in devotional service, even if they don't complete their devotional service in this one lifetime and they fall down, there is no danger for them. But for a non-devotee who has not done any kind of spiritual activities, he doesn't gain anything.
correct. So this is the verse. So, like, yeah. So one gives up his occupational duties. Let's say his dharma is to do something. He gives it up. Tyaktva. According to Varnashram, he has a dharma. He gives it up. Tyaktva swadharmam charnam bujam harir. And he takes to the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Charna ambuja. Ambuja is lotus. And bhajan apakvo. Pakvo means apakvo. Pakvo means ripe and apakvo means not ripe. But because of, let's say, not ripe uh, bhajan, means not very advanced, he is immature still. But atha patet tato yadi. Patet means he falls down. So he did some service, but later on maybe he falls down, means he gives it up for some reason. Yatra kva va bhadram abhudamusya kim. So what is abhadra? Narad Muni is saying, what is the inauspicious thing for him? Even he he's not pursuing devotional service anymore, or he has fallen down and then he's again pursuing. There is no loss. On the other hand, ko va artha apto abhajatam. Abhajatam means those who are not devotees. What is the artha? What is the benefit he is going to get? If he is not, even if he does his all dharma very nicely. Swadharmata, being engaged in his occupational service, he doesn't get any. One was because he is not serving Krishna. Dharma swanusthita pumsam vishwaksha.
Shakshana Kathasu hai Notpade Yadi Yadi Ritim Shramay Vahi.
So Bhagavatam is saying this, that yeah, if you're not engaged in devotional service, you do all your dharma very nicely. What is the gain? There is no gain really. It is only hard work for nothing. So one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in immature state. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, of course, he tries to improve and he is fall down like that. He tries to again get up and become very steady in devotional service. But because of our past conditioning, like that, some things may happen. But we, again, with determination, we again. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. So you may have done very lot of, your published papers and so many things, but you don't have any attraction for chanting, hearing. You may have done a lot of research or, amassed a lot of wealth, but you have no interest in bhakti. Then, and people praise like this, people praise also such people. So that is how this whole culture is set up. People don't praise those who are endeavoring for spiritual advance, but they praise those who are materially very, opulent and very, lot of talent they have materially speaking. But
Yeah, but all of that can be lost at any moment. Your talent, I mean, if you have a disease, you get your body becomes diseased and you can't do what you were able to do. Or even if you have so much money in your bank account, the doctors might say, sorry, we cannot do anything. So we should realize all these material assets of any kind ultimately will be gone. At any moment, it can be gone.
so we should build up our spiritual bank account. Spiritual bank account we have to build. We have to become greedy to build up our spiritual bank. Like Sakam Vijruhu Krita Punya Punja. Those who are playing with Krishna as friends, they have done so heaps of pious, transcendental pious activities, and they have come to the position of playing with Krishna as a friend. Shukdev Goswami says. So we should build up our, chanting and doing so much service to Krishna, like the uninterrupted, unmotivated service. We should become greedy. Tatra laulyam api mulyam ekalam. Very greedy to serve Krishna all the time. And with our whatever we have, yet our job, our wealth, our energy, everything, body, mind, words, everything, wealth, prana, artha, dhiya, vacha, to serve Krishna. So we should become very greedy to serve Krishna. Then, yeah, that will increase our bank account very much. And then, so every time we get opportunities for service, we get opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says, if you have time, chant Hare Krishna. If you don't have any other service to do like that, then just chant Hare Krishna. That's the best service, of course. And there are other services practically to push on the movement, to give Krishna consciousness. So both we have to do. So in this way, all the time serving Krishna. Not a moment should go like that. And in the right consciousness. We are doing it for purification of heart. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but later he became a great devotee of Mahabhagavata and had no interest in material enjoyment. This perfection. Okay, I think we read this. Okay, so we'll stop here. Bhagavatam is 1 hour. So, you want to sing any songs or anything?
I can complete the Sat Goswami.
We need the. I think maybe it's there. Where is it? Previously.
I pasted.
Okay. Here it is. So from 4 on, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
5. Yes. कूजित कोकिल हंस सारस गुणा कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्न निबद्ध मूल वितपा श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महर्निशं प्रभजतो जीवर्थदो यो मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको संख्यापूर्वक नाम गाननतिभिः कालावसानीकृतो नेत्राहार विहारकादिविजितो जात्यन्तदीनाचयो राधा कृष्ण गुणा स्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको राधा कुण्ड तटे कलिन्द तनया तीरे च वंशीवटे प्रेमोन्मादवशाद शेषदशया ग्रस्तो प्रमत्तो सदा गायन्तो च कदा हरिर्गुणवरं भावाभिभूतो मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुटा श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पादपतले कालिंदिवाने कुटा घोषान्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे खेदेर्महाविवलो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको. So this song is talking about the qualities of the 6 Goswamis. Number 5. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who were always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. The goal of life, the Pancham Purushartha, is Krishna Prem, and whoever has Krishna Prem, they can give others Krishna Prem. So these 6 Goswamis, they are distributing the Krishna Prem, and they are from the spiritual world. All of them are manjaris of Srimati Radharani. They are enjoying in the spiritual world serving Radha and Krishna. So that's the way to enjoy, is to serve Radha and Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who were engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bound down in scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilized their valuable lives, and in executing these devotional activities, they conquered over eating and sleeping and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So, Sankhya Purvaka Nam Gana. So they were always, counting the holy names that they were chanting, and they had a very big vow, maybe like 128 rounds or 64 rounds, like that. And they were also counting the number of times they were bowing down to the Vaishnavas and to Radha and Krishna, deities. So, like Raghunath Das, he was bowing down, 3,000 times to the Vaishnavas, 1,000 to the deities, like that. Because bowing down to Krishna also, it eliminates our sinful activities, diminishes our sinful activities. That's the last verse of Bhagavatam, right? How does it start? The last verse of Nam Sankirtanyasya Sarva Papa Pranasham Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas. If we bow down to the Supreme Lord, offering obeisance, it will remove all our material sufferings. And when somebody is engaged in devotional service and they're getting so much taste, then they don't need to eat or sleep. I mean, they don't like to waste their time. So they were eating very minimally, and they were hardly sleeping at all. Like Prabhupada also would hardly sleep, maybe a few hours in a day, because he's relishing so much engaged in devotional service. Then number 7, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who were sometimes on the bank of the Radha Kund lake or the shores of Yamuna, and sometimes at Vamshivat. There they appeared just like madmen in the full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their bodies, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. So they were always in ecstasy, crying, and their 6 what are Ashta Satvika Vikar. That there's a verse in Bhagavatam about the essence of Bhagavatam. Like, this is what is perfection. It says that a person who's engaged in devotional service, I'm pasting the link to that verse, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also referenced. एवं व्रता स्वप्रिया नाम कीर्त्या जाता अनुरागा द्रुत चित्त उच्चे हसति यथो रोदति रोति गायति उन्माद वन नृत्यति लोक भाया. A person who is engaged in devotional service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness is automatically becomes carried away by ecstasy when he chants and hears the holy name of Krishna. His heart becomes slackened while chanting the holy name. He almost becomes like a madman, and he doesn't care for outward social conventions. Thus sometimes he laughs, sometimes he weeps, sometimes he cries out very loudly, sometimes he sings, and sometimes he dances and he forgets himself. These are the signs of becoming intoxicated in devotional service. This stage, called the Atmaram stage, is possible when the Lord bestows His mercy upon a devotee for his advanced devotional activity. It is the highest perfectional stage because one cannot reach it unless one has attained pure love of God. So that's the goal, is to become mad for Krishna. And of course, we cannot imitate such activities. As this verse says, it's only by the mercy of Krishna that one can get to this state of becoming mad in um, serving Radha and Krishna. So last verse 8. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatan Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the banks of Yamuna? Where are you? These are their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. So they are in the mood of Vipralambha, which means love and separation. They always remembering and us too. We are separated from Radha and Krishna, who are our mother and father, and we are separated from the spiritual world, and we are suffering so much in the material world. So as we advance, Krishna will give us this bhav of I want to go back to my real home, go back home, back to Godhead, because home is where we are relaxed, we are happy. As we were saying yesterday, this is kind of like a mela. In the mela, the child becomes attracted to so many, illusions. Or so many rides and stuff, and he gets separated from his parents. So he's happy for some time, but then he realizes that where are my parents, who will take care of me, who will give me something to eat, and he's lost, and he starts to cry that I am now separated from my parents because I wanted to enjoy separately from them. So that's the bhav that we should, we need to develop, or by the mercy of Krishna we will develop that I am separated from my parents, I want to go back to my parents, and I'll be happy in under their shelter. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Nice explanation. Okay, so we can read Chaitanya Bhagavat for some time. Since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, of course, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day is when? I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. Next week. So.
Yeah, next week. Today in temple, I think there is some. What is today? Today, I think Prabhu Nityananda's story will be told. Here in DC.
Oh, in DC. You're going to Potomac Temple? The Potomac,
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, in ISKCON Potomac.
Yeah, Potomac Temple on the festival days, it doesn't do any classes. There's only kirtan. So week before on the weekend, I guess there are classes.
All right, so we'll read some verses. Let's see where we are. Okay, I'll just read. So everybody is going to Chand Kazi's house because he has stopped the kirtan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken like a whole procession of millions of people holding torches in their hand, and they are in a very aggressive mood. They are saying, catch the Kazi, like that. And they are wanting to break his house, burn down his house. And as they are going, then there are a lot of people who they meet on the way, and they are receiving them very respectfully. And there is kirtan going on. So Lord Chaitanya is dancing in the kirtan. Now, where are those sinful atheists who did not accept the chanting of Krishna's names? Some of them punched the ground while calling out the name of atheists. They rolled loudly and wondered about chanting the name of Hari. So everybody wanted everybody to chant the name of Hari. So there were some people who were not chanting. So the devotees punched the ground, calling out. In this way, in the name of that atheist, in this way, being always maddened with the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness, They did not remember what they said or what they did. As the atheists saw the maddened condition of the townspeople, they burned with envy. So the atheists didn't like this. The atheists all simultaneously desired, if the Lord is willing, let the Qazi come now. Of course, they are saying, Lord, atheists are. Then what will happen to all this pomp and fun? What will happen to the loud screaming? If the Qazi comes out, then they will understand what's going to happen. What will happen to the dancing and singing, and what will happen to their big show? Then what will happen to their banana trees, water pots, and mango leaves? Then they will receive a suitable reward for their threats. So they were not happy. So they were thinking, let some harm come to them. Just let Kasi know, and maybe he will become so aggressive, and then he will attack all this Sankirtan. And then all their Sankirtan will stop, and all this pomp and fun that they are doing will stop. The Qazi will see all these big torches, and he will see all these sentimental devotees. The Qazi will also hear the great commotion, and then we will see all the devotees jump into the Ganges. Someone else said, then I will stay around and bind all those fellows by the neck and turn them in, so that they will drown in the Ganges. Another said, let us go and inform the Qazi. Someone else said, that is not very reasonable. Someone said, oh brothers, I have an idea. Let us quickly approach those sentimental devotees. We'll tell them the Qazi is coming. Then not even a single person will remain here. So frighten them, then they will all scatter. In this way, the atheists conspired among themselves, while Lord Chaitanya's associate became maddened by chanting the glories of Lord Hari. They were all decorated with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands. In ecstasy, they all chanted the name of Krishna. So they were chanting, they were madly chanting. As the Lord danced down the road, he came to the village of Simulia, which was situated on the outskirts of Nadia. Unlimited millions of people chanted the name of Hari, as the crest jewel of Brahmanas danced and roared loudly. Who knows how much pure water and how many streams flowed from the lotus eyes of the Lord? He was crying. So much water was coming out. Shivering in ecstasy, the Lord jumped high in the air and then fell down. Nityananda lamented because he could not support the Lord. Eventually, the Lord fell unconscious in ecstasy, and everyone became shocked when his body showed no sign of life for 3 hours. He went to Samadhi. On seeing such wonderful characteristics, they all concluded this personality must be Lord Narayan. Some people said he is like Narada, Prahlad, or Shukdev. Others said, whoever he may be, he is certainly not an ordinary human. People spoke in this way according to their realization. The staunch logicians said he is a great Vaishnava. The Lord was devoid of external consciousness in the topmost mellows of devotional service as he raised his arms and chanted, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Simply by hearing once from the lotus mouth of the Lord, everyone loudly chanted Hari, Hari. Did he come back to consciousness? Lord was devoid of external consciousness in the topmost mellows of devotional service as he raised his arms and chanted Hari, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, so he must have come, he was chanting Hari Bol, but he was not externally conscious. Simply by hearing once from the lotus mouth of the Lord, everyone loudly chanted Hari, Hari. So devotees are also not externally very conscious about what is going on in the material world. They are not. Because they are so much absorbed in Krishna. Sometimes devotees don't even know, like at those times they were living. They don't know which month is going on. They are so every day, what month of the year it is and what's going on in the world, what news are happening. They don't know. Because they are so much absorbed in chanting, distributing Prabhupada's books, doing Harinam, and like that coming back and again repeating the same thing day in and day out. So they are completely out of touch with what's going in this material world. That's nice because what is this? This is a dream world. So what is going on here is all illusory, actually. So what is the point in knowing all these illusory things? And so we need to know about the spiritual world where we want to go. So in this world, all so many wars and this and politicians and this scandal and that and this, and bomb blast and all these things is only the news. So it's going on. But we are not supposed to be here in this illusory world. Madhouse. The madhouse. Just as are not interested in what the mad people are doing, right? And we don't get news of in the mental asylum, what did they say today? Because everybody is haunted there. We are all haunted here in the madhouse. So we should be concerned about the spiritual world and what's going on in the spiritual world because we want to go there. Based on our interests, we go. So all these things are constantly going on in the material world. Politics, some leader is toppled over, some leader is killed, and then another person comes. And constantly this sports is going on, somebody's playing, then this team won, that team won, and then now that this team lost and that team has won. So all these things are going on. But that has nothing to do with the activities of the spirit soul. All these things. Nothing to do. So one should become absorbed in. And if some news is important, it will come to you. You don't have to do. People will tell you about it. So ideally, that's how we should not take this world very seriously and all the material happenings very seriously. Our material desires also should not be taken very seriously. That's how uh, one can become serious about spiritual life. Simply by hearing once from the lotus mouth of the Lord, everyone loudly chanted, Hari, Hari. Everyone followed behind Kaur Sundar in whichever direction he danced. As the Lord approached the Qazi's house, the Qazi heard the loud vibration of the musical instruments. But Prabhupada was always thinking, how I can spread Krishna consciousness? How all these people can come out of illusion to the reality? So he was writing so many books and telling his followers to distribute these books and bring them to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, why? What did they have to do here in this liberated soul like Srila Prabhupada? Why would they come here to this material world? Where is a madhouse? Just like we don't go to the prison and find out what's going on in the prison every day, what the prisoners are doing, or the madhouse. Nobody goes there and finds out. So similarly, the devotees, they come because they have compassion, Krishna's compassion they carry in the heart, and they want to give it to others. So that is why they come. Otherwise, Prabhupada said, I didn't want to go here in this material world. And we are thinking, yeah, we have so many things to do here in this material world. We have to achieve this and we have to achieve that and so many things. So one is to become callous to all these material situations. Because nothing is permanent here. It has come, it will go. As the Lord approached the Qazi's house, the Qazi heard the loud vibration of the musical instruments. So now everybody is coming close to Qazi's house. They are hearing. The Qazi said, listen, brothers, what is that singing and music? Is it someone's marriage? Or is it the kirtan of some ghostly beings? At night he is hearing. Some marriage party is there. Go quickly and see who is transgressing my order by following the Hindu rituals. Then I will go myself. So if it is kirtan, I have issued an order. My order is that nobody can do kirtan publicly. And if somebody is doing, then I will see. The Qazi's servants ran off after receiving his order. When they saw the huge gathering, they remembered their scriptures. Unlimited millions of people were shouting, kill the Qazi. Hearing this, the Qazi's servants ran away in fear. So there were only few in number and there are millions of people shouting. They ran quickly and told the Qazi, what can you do? Let us quickly run away. Millions and millions of people are coming from this way with Nimai Acharya. They are fully prepared. Who knows what they will do today? Millions of people are chanting the names of Hindu gods while carrying hundreds of thousands of large burning torches. We saw bananas, water pots, and mango leaves at every doorstep, and the streets of Nadia were covered with flowers. We could not even imagine how much puffed rice and curdy, small conch shells were being showered. Our ears were almost shattered from the sound of the musical instruments. There is not such an arrangement in the village of Nadia, even when the king comes. So even when you go, there is not such a big procession. This is a very large procession. Nimai Pandit is the leader of those sentimental devotees. In whatever direction he dances, everyone follows. The same townspeople that we once beat are shouting, "Today we will kill the Qazi." So that said, those people who are so afraid now, they are only coming. This Nimai Acharya is making all this propaganda. This Hindu prophet is doing all this. One of them said, "I can't understand why this Brahmana cries so much. It appears as if a river is flowing from his two eyes. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying?" Another said, "I think this Brahmana must be missing someone. Therefore he always cries in distress." So it's Radharani missing Krishna. So crying in distress. Someone else said, "This Brahmana looks frightening. I tremble on seeing his form that appears ready to devour everything." So some are seeing him as crying, some are seeing him as very ferocious. The Qazi said, "I think Nimai Pandit is going somewhere to get married. If they transgress my order by engaging in Hindu rituals, I will take away the caste of everyone in town." So Qazi is saying, still he has not softened up. Still hearing that there is a large procession coming, he says, "I will take away the caste," means he will sprinkle some water on the Hindus and then they'll become Muslims. So, as the Qazi was planning in this way, he suddenly heard the tumultuous sound of the kirtan. Lord Vishwambar, the crest jewel of all, came dancing within the Qazi's neighborhood. The tumultuous sound of millions of people chanting the names of Hari permeated the entire atmosphere, including Swarga, Martya, and Patal loks. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. On hearing that sound, the Qazi trembled and ran away with his servants, like a frog or a mouse runs away in a fear of snake. Yet in their fear, they did not know which way to run, because the entire area was filled with Vishwambar's associates. So they were surrounded. So where to go? Some of them took their turbans and joined their kirtan because they didn't want to get injured if they will attack. So they just participated in the kirtan. As they danced incognito, they trembled in fear. Those who had beards hung their heads down so that nobody would see the beard. They were too embarrassed to raise their heads, and their hearts trembled in fear. None of the unlimited millions of people could recognize any of them. Those people were not even conscious of their own bodies. Everyone danced and sang in ecstasy. So the people also were intoxicated with the chanting of the holy names. So they could not recognize those people who came in the kirtan. Everyone danced and sang in ecstasy. Their chanting of Hari's names filled the entire universe. When Lord Vishwambar came to Qazi's house, he roared loudly in anger. In that angry state, the Lord said, "Where is that fellow Qazi? Bring him here quickly and I'll cut off his head. Today I will rid the entire world of Yavanas, just as I previously killed Kalyavan." Where can the Qazi go to save his life? The Lord then repeatedly ordered, "Break his house, break his house." Of course, the Lord is very merciful, but still he's becoming so ferocious because they stopped kirtan. The son of Sachi is the super soul in the heart of all living entities. Who is capable of transgressing his order? Everyone was greatly intoxicated with ecstatic love for Lord Chaitanya. On his order, they entered the house. Some tore apart the rooms, some broke down the doors, some kicked the house, and some roared loudly. Some broke the branches of the mango and jackfruit trees, some uprooted the banana trees while chanting the name of Hari. Hundreds of thousands of people entered the flower garden and uprooted all the plants while roaring loudly. They tore the flowers with their stems from the uprooted plants and tucked them behind their ears while chanting the name of Hari. Even if everyone there took just one leaf each, there would not have been any left in the Qazi's house. So there were so many people that even if they took one leaf each. When the outside of the Qazi's house was broken, the Lord ordered, "Burn the inside of the house. Let the Qazi burn to death along with his associates. Surround the house and set it fire from all sides. Let me see what this king can do to me. Let me see who saves the Qazi today." Yamraj, time and death are servants of my servants. Everything is manifested simply by my glance. I have incarnated to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. I will destroy those sinners who are inimical to Kirtan. Even if the most sinful person chants the holy name, I will certainly remember him. But even ascetics, sannyasis, jnanis, and yogis do not engage in Kirtan, I will destroy them. Do not be afraid. Go and set the house on fire. Today I will annihilate all the Yavanas. On seeing the Lord's anger, all the devotees wrapped cloth around their necks and fell at his feet. After raising the arms, the devotees grasped the Lord's feet and appealed to him as follows: Lord Sankarshan is your plenary portion. He never gets angry at an improper time. When it is time for the creation to be destroyed, Sankarshan becomes angry and assumes the form of Rudra. The same Rudra that annihilates the creation within a moment finally merges in your body. When by the anger of the portion of your plenary portion everything is destroyed, who can possibly escape your anger? O Lord, it is not proper to neglect the statement of the Vedas, which declare you are free from anger and eternally blissful. So they are telling Lord Chaitanya, please calm down and should not be so angry. The devotees are telling Lord Chaitanya. Must be Nityananda Prabhu, and even personalities like Brahma are not competent recipients for your anger. Creation, maintenance, and annihilation are simply your pastimes. You have adequately insulted the Kazi. If he opposes the Kirtan again, then you can kill him. They further prayed, all glories to Vishwambar Maharaj, the controller of all controllers. All glories to Shri Gaurasundar, the Lord of all universes. All glories to the Lord who lies on the bed of Ananta and who is the beloved Lord of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. In this way, all devotees raised their arms and offered prayers. As Mahaprabhu listened to the prayers of his servant, he smiled. He then chanted the name of Hari and relished the ecstasy of dancing as he departed from that place. After punishing the Qazi, the Lord of all danced along with his associates in the ecstasy of Kirtan. So Mahaprabhu softened up and he chanted Hari. The devotees blew conch shells and played mridangas, wampers and kartals as they chanted Jai Ram, Krishna, Govinda, Gopal. After breaking the Qazi's house, all the residents of Navadip chanted the name of Hari and danced down the road in ecstasy. The atheists' hearts were broken because they did not expect this to happen. They thought Qazi will not run but stop the Kirtan, and they became full of lamentation because of devotees' jubilation. The residents of Navadip clapped their hands and sang Jai Krishna, Mukunda, Murari, Vanamali. As the auspicious vibration filled the entire city, everyone floated in an ocean of bliss. No one could tell who was dancing in which direction, who was singing, who was playing a musical instrument, or who was running in which direction. The devotees danced in front as Mahaprabhu, the son of Sachi, danced behind. Brahma, Shiva, and Ananta himself chanted as the Lord, who is the crest jewel of all Vaishnavas, danced. The Lord has mercifully instructed everyone not to have any doubts about these pastimes. Vishwambar, accompanied by innumerable millions of people, then entered the village of conch shell merchants. Okay, so there is a conversation that happens between Chand Kazi and it's not there here. Or is it coming up?
It's in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a conversation. Then Chand Kazi also becomes a devotee. And we went to that place, right? Chand Kazi.
Samadhi.
Samadhi, yeah. The Chand Kazi Samadhi. So in Mayapur. So he became a devotee. So devotees go there. And,
even when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in his dream, I think that pastime is also there.
Narsingadev.
And yeah, scratched him.
So, okay, so we will continue. It's 9:13. Stop here with this pastime. So he's now, after the procession, he's coming back, and that's where he's entering some village. So we'll continue with this tomorrow or like that. Okay, so thank you very much for your association this morning. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.